Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Welcome back to MacBreak Studio. I'm Mark, I'm with Steve. We're talking about Final Cut Pro 10 and something about DVDs.
Yeah, DVDs. It's really funny, but a lot of people still burn DVDs.
Yeah, it's fun. I just rarely, but sometimes it's needed. Some customers ask for it, they require it. It's an archiving.
You can get a DVD player at Walmart for like $30 or something like that.
It's pretty darn cheap.
It's still a great way to deliver stuff. They're cheap. You can burn it and send it, put it in the mail. And it's a great way to keep stuff on the internet, off of the internet.
Off the internet,
Look, not everyone uses Vimeo and YouTube and FTP. This is still a safe way to get content.
If you don't have a fast connection, that's a fast, easy, and you can put a nice label on it. So anyway, what are you going to tell us about them?
I'm going to show you something called DVD quick burns. What I mean is you can burn a DVD right within Final Cut Pro, but why take up Final Cut Pro resources to burn a DVD? I mean, it's an editing app. Do you really want to have... Well, you can continue working while it's burning, but I just see no point in opening Final Cut Pro to burn a DVD.
Just to burn a DVD.
Just to burn a DVD.
So you're going to show us how to burn a DVD that came from Final Cut Pro without launching Final Cut Pro.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so
let's see it.
The first thing is, I just want to walk people through the process of how you would burn a DVD. Here's a project that I created last December called The Ghost of Jerome. It's up on our Vimeo channel. And you'll notice if you go to the share menu, there's an option here for sharing a DVD. So of course I select it and I go to the settings and my options for creating a DVD. Of course I got two colors for the menu, white and black. Great. And then look, it's great for what we call a screener. You know, I just want to get
quick
it
and dirty.
Quick and dirty. It's
Maybe
fantastic.
It's a time code burn or something like that. It's a review copy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
and I notice you have an output device selected.
Thank you very much for pointing that out. Yes, you can output to a hard drive.
Okay.
In other words, a disk image.
Yes.
Or a DVD burner. Now you have this nice MacBook that doesn't have a DVD burner, but I have this nice USB connected DVD
Yeah, I've got one of
burner.
those. Those are very helpful because sometimes you've got to be able to play a DVD.
Got to be able to play DVDs.
And that's a great way to have a DVD player without having it take up the weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, in this case, I'm not going to go through the process of burning because I've already burned it. And what do I mean by, let's back up. We're not talking about burning. There's two-step process to create a DVD. One is it has to encode the assets into a DVD-compliant file structure.
Okay.
That's the first step.
Yes.
It's what they call muxing. It's got to create essentially MPEG-2 files and AC3 files. That's the first step.
Yes.
The second step is actually burn it onto the DVD.
Okay.
So it's always a two-step process. So when you click share, it's going to mux it. It's going to create the needed M2Vs and AC3 files first, and then it's going to ask you, please insert one of your DVDs, and it will burn it.
And it'll burn it. Great.
My point is, I've already done that. Once you actually mux the files, in other words, encode them, you don't need to do it every time. Let me show you where Final Cut Pro stores that.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, that I've already created a DVD of this project previously. So I'm going to go to the Finder. And I just want to point out that if I go into projects, and there's my Ghost of Jerome project, I want you to see a folder here called Shared Items.
Yeah, and that shows up if you've exported something to YouTube or Vimeo, but it also shows up if you've made a DVD.
That's right. Anything that you share that requires the creation of assets.
Okay, gets stuck right in there.
Right in there.
Yeah.
And you can see here that it made there's my two DVD assets, an M2V, which is a MPEG-2 movie, and an AC3.
Okay, and I also noticed your other HD 720 and 1080 that you did for online versions.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but just want to point out, everything you share shows up in that folder,
Yes.
which is handy.
Makes sense.
Now, I've already burned a DVD, but let's say later I'm going to come back, my client says, can you burn me, 500 more DVDs? Well, you wouldn't want to do that, but I'm just saying, the client wants a few more.
A few more, yeah.
The question is, I don't want to open up Final Cut, like you said earlier. I want Final Cut just to do a burn. So, I'm going to show you this trick. Now, before I show you, little caveat, put up like a red skull and crossbones sound. I'm about to go into the app package. Okay, so you can go in there. Just know that if you mess around and get crazy, you're going to have to reinstall Final Cut.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which these days is not a big deal.
Not a big
You
deal.
just re-download it from the App Store.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm in the Applications folder. You can see I'm in Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and right-click. I'm going to say Show Package Contents.
Okay.
And before I do this, just see how cool this is. I'm going to actually quit Final Cut.
Okay, just don't even need it running.
Don't even need it running.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into Final Cut, and I'm going to say Show Package Contents. And then there's the contents.
Yes, yes.
Contents. And I'm going to go into the plugins folder. And look at this, compressor. There's an actual folder called compressor inside there. And there's something in here called compressor bundle. So really, this is another bundle within a bundle. So you're
looks
gonna
like a Lego.
It looks like a Lego, but it's a bundle. It's a package. So if I click show package,
Oh, you're going to open that one up?
yes. So I'm gonna open another. And it has its own contents folder.
All right, we're getting the
It's
rabbit
like
hole now.
It's the Russian. You
Yeah,
know,
the little
eggs.
dolls inside each other.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I want to do is I want to look into this thing called embedded apps. There are actually 2 embedded apps within these folders. Look, Share Monitor.
Share Monitor, that's the thing that launches every time when you export something.
That's
It launches in the background.
It's
That's
an
where
app.
it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
It's actually an app right there.
Deep within the innards of Final Cut. There it is. So then there's look at this. Create Disk. That's the application that creates that burns the DVD. It doesn't make the files. It
just
burns the DVD.
Okay.
In fact, it says Create Disk.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty
so
clear.
what I'm going to do is select it.
Yeah.
And let's see. I'm going to make an alias.
Okay.
Now you're going to have to type in your
I'm-
password. So okay now. So now I have this
Okay.
create disk alias. I'm
Yeah.
just going to drag this out. I'm just going to put it on the desktop.
Okay.
Right? And I'm just going to go ahead and I can close this if I want to, but I'm not going to because it'll reveal all your
the
hidden
stuff on my
secret
desktop.
which is pretty scary. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click this create disk
Okay.
icon.
Okay.
Boom. Okay, what happened? Nothing.
Oh, it says create disk in the top left corner.
Create disk.
Yeah.
And I'll launch the app. And file, open recent. Look at this.
Because you created in Final Cut, it's keeping track of what you recently did. Okay.
So now I just simply say, all right, Ghosts of Jerome, and what's going to happen? Remember, the files have already been prepared and muxed. So look at this. Please insert media to burn the disk Ghosts of Jerome. So
nice.
I get to do that now. It's a fun part. So I just select the disk.
We don't do much anymore.
No, but let me do a tutorial on how to. There we go. So it's in there. And it's going to burn the disk, and when it's done, it's going to spit the disk out. And I just keep feeding the beast. I keep feeding it until all of these are burned.
We're going to stay here and do that right now.
So, so that's it. That's my little technique for. You don't have to open Final Cut. You just
Does it give you while it's burning? Does it give you kind of any
unfortunately,
input or not?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. How do you know when it's done? Will it eject it?
It'll spit it out.
It'll eject it.
It'll eject it. Yeah.
It'll just come out. Okay. Cool. So no need for Final Cut at all. You can just use that little app. You can even drag that app out and then use it totally separate, drag assets onto it.
It's just an alias to where it exists inside the app, the actual
nice.
Final Cut bundle.
Very, very nice. Cool. Nice
Yeah,
tip.
I think it's cool.
Great. So if this was useful to you, or you want to learn more about Final Cut Pro 10, related applications like Motion, DaVinci Resolve, and the like, rippletraining.com, and plugins as well, of course, for Final Cut Pro 10. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching MacBreak Studio.